What's up, guys? All right, we're at the Greenpoint project. We installed the crown molding. Now, the ceiling was done by the existing contractor. We're here doing the trim and doing some odds and ends. As you can see right here, there's a huge belly in the ceiling. Obviously, our crown has to stay straight. We can't twist, sometimes you can cheat a little bit, but we're not going to twist the crown to follow the ceiling. So, how do I fix that? This is how I fix it. I get blue tape. Now, you can caulk it, but that's about a 1/2 inch belly, which is pretty big. We're not going to rip the ceiling down. We're not going to reframe the ceiling, so I'm going to feather it in. This is how I do it. I take blue tape. I go from 0, because you're going to feather it in, and you take the blue tape and you put it right on the top of your crown molding. Right on the top edge. Now some guys might caulk this, but if you caulk it, you're going to have so much caulk. You could also fill it with a strip of wood and then caulk it. But the best way is to keep the reveal on the top of the crown molding continuous, which is important. Now if I push this in, it's going to pull the bottom off the wall. So I definitely want this to stay tight. So you got about a 1/2 inch cap there. So what I'll do is, sometimes you can make a ring with compound, fill it with water, put the plaster inside and do it in sections. I want to do it fast. So what I'll do is, I'll take the compound, I just make a little circle on a piece of sheetrock, right? You can circle on the sheetrock. I take a handful of plaster Paris, sprinkle it on top. Decent amount. Now I want it to dry fast right away so I can give it 2 coats. So I sprinkle the plaster Paris on a decent amount. Now you could mix 20-minute in a bucket with the mixer quick, but I do it just as fast with this, and this way I can control how much I need or how much I want. Sometimes when you mix it in a bucket, it dries so fast and you don't have enough time. So as you can see, I got a lot of plaster in here. I want it dry. I don't want it so I can build it up the first coat. I don't want it all wet, because then you can only build so much. So you mix it in good, and then you just add a little water if you feel the mix is a little too dry. So I'll take a sponge, squeeze some water on top, keep mixing. Now this is going to dry in probably about a minute. Once I get it completely mixed. Now, like I said, you can make a ring with the compound, put water in the center. You want to whip it, you want it nice. Get all the lumps out. Clean a little bit of dry that's on your knife, get that in there. Now you're ready to go. Now on your workstation, you want to keep it clean, because your next mix, you don't want all this dry stuff that's going to dry as you're working to get in your mix. So you want to clean the area off before you go and do your next, now I gotta clean for my next mix, right? Pork, look, it's already, look at this. It's already almost drying. So, now what I'll do is, I'll take my 8-inch. Now I know I gotta go about a 1/2 inch in the center, right? So that's where I'll start. I take a decent amount, right? And I'll go from the blue tape out. Now the beauty about the plaster is you could work it. So as it's setting a little bit, you could still mold it. You could make its form. So that's 0. So I'm going to take that down into there, right? Same over here. This dries so quick, so you want to keep your tools clean as you're working with them, because it's going to dry in your tools and then you're going to spend time cleaning your tools. Look at this. It's almost dry already, but it's still sticky. Now I know the top of my blue tape is my guide for where I want to be right now, right? So that's what I'm using as a guideline. Now this is first coat, so now this is just to give me the build up, right? You don't want to give it too much because you can always add. But to take it off, then you got to sand, and you don't want to have to sand too much. So. Alright. So that's the build up there, right? Now, what I want to do is, I want to feather it out a little bit more, because you don't want this bump in the middle of your ceiling. So now, I'm going to feather it, because the wider you go, the less obvious it's going to be. Now when you mix, you want to make sure you get all the lumps out, because the lumps are going to screw you up. So what I'm doing is I just built a little ramp. A little ramp. See, there's a lump right here. Actually, it's a little piece of paper in the back of the drywall that got stuck in there. So another thing about the plaster is, which is good, is you could work it. It could be worked. So now that it's setting a little bit, I could mold it. A piece of Play-Doh, like clay. It can be molded. So, clean your knife. Nice and smooth. Nice and smooth. See? Now this is just first coat. But now, this will be dry in about not even 5 minutes, 10 minutes, and then I'll put a compound, regular compound with nothing in it. I'll put on top of it. So, as you can see, I go from 0, ½ inch down to 0. I came out a little. Yeah. So here's that same wall. We filled in the ½ inch. We'll give it a light sand and it will get primed. But you see how it was feathered out to here, and you can't see that we brought the ceiling down.